Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to change the camshaft seal in the Mk1 Golf. And it looks exactly like this. So that's what the seal looks like. So we're going to change that in the Mk1 Golf. Okay, I didn't record it, but it's easy enough to take off the rocker cover and then the time belt cover just here. There is one Allen key just down here. That always gets me, so I don't forget to take off that one. But that's what it looks like on top. That's what it looks like on the side. And we bring the light around. And you can actually see where it's been leaking. So it's leaking the whole way down here. I didn't really know at the start where it was leaking from. But if we lift up some of these cables here, you can see it there. So oil at this side, and right in the middle, it looks like it's been washed. So it's fairly clean. So I think the seal right in the center is leaking, and that's actually just letting down a little dribble of oil the whole time. That's why it's dirty over here, and it's oily and dirty over here as well. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to take off the timing belt. So I'm just bringing everything up to TDC. So what we're going to do is just mark everything and make sure that everything is actually correct. Undo the timing belt, undo this, take off that, and take off the seal. So we're ready to replace it with a new seal. Okay, so first job is check everything is in TDC. So the top mark there, and it's marked both on the cover and on the cam, or on the flywheel I should say. This one up here is marked just there at the side. A little bit of Tipex, and that's level with that, or else you can use your eye and say it's level with this pin here. And to get the fuel timing, or the spark timing, I've put my own mark. So on top of the 4, between the 2 and the 4 is where I put the mark. But to do it correctly, it's very difficult actually. I can just see it there. Yeah, there you go. So you can see a little mark just at the very back, and that should line up with this pin up here. But it's so difficult to see, it's way easier just put your own timing mark just before you take everything apart. So that's 3 pulleys. So it's the crank, cam, and fuel, or the spark, is marked. So now we're going to take off the belt, because we have to get you off the belt to get to the pulley. That's a 15, so let's knock off the 15 for the tensioner, take off the belt, and see how it goes. Okay, so I just put the handle of the hammer in there, just stop that rotating, because obviously if that rotates, it's going to smash in the valves. We're going to smash into the piston, and do that nut is 19, and it takes, I think it was like 80 foot-pounds or 80 newton meters to tighten that. So obviously it's 80 newton meters to undo it, so you need a big extension bar. Okay, we've done the nut in the center. Give it a wiggle, out it comes. So you can see I've marked this side of the pulley as well, which actually corresponds to that mark there, because the inside mark is so difficult to see. So that actually just made it a little bit easier. And when we undid the big nut, just make sure it's still in time. Just, it rotated a little bit, so we just moved it back. Take off our keyway, do that off camera, and then we're getting ready to pull the cap. Okay, so I looked at different videos and read up on it, and it doesn't say how to actually fix this end cap or this seal here, but to take off the actual cam, you undo cap 1, cap 3, and cap 5. You loosen each of them gradually, and when they're loosened, then you can unloosen cap 2 and cap 4. Putting it back on, you put on cap 2 and cap 5, snug them down that are just getting tight. Then you put on 3 and 4. Then when they're all not like rocket tight, but like they're tight, then you put on cap 1, and then you tighten everything up to 20 newton meters. So I'm not really sure how to do this correctly. So let's just say we have taken off the cam, now we're putting it back on. So these 4 caps would already be on. Now you'd be just putting this one on and tightening it up before you do the final torque. So I think I could actually get away with just undoing this cap here, because technically it'd be the same as putting it on. And knock out that seal, put the new seal in, and be done. So that's what I'm going to do. I was thinking originally taking them all off and put them all back on in the right sequence, but let's just stick with this one here, because I think it's going to be the same thing anyway, because this one here goes on last. So technically, if I take it off first and put it back on, it'd be kind of like the same as putting it last. So I'm going to try it. I'm just going to do it. Not even going to try it, I'm just going to do it. And we tighten them back up to 20 Newton meters. Okay, so we cracked the 2 nuts off, just taking a little bit each time off each of them until eventually it loosened off. So now to get this cap up, which is absolutely stuck, so what I did was I got a monkey wrench or whatever these adjustable wrenches, basically got it to the widest position and basically just rocked it left and right. You really don't want to be driving a screwdriver or chisel in here because that's one of the mating surfaces that's actually making it seal. So we loosened it and off it comes. So the next thing is obviously to get the seal out. There's the seal there, and we can just walk it out. That's the seal now out. And I'm still not even convinced that it's even leaking here. Like, I was expecting the seal to be like rock solid, and like there's still a little bit of give in it, so I'm not sure. But we have a new seal anyway to go back on, and we'll give all of this a little bit of a clean up first as well. Okay, I've given the cam and everything here a good clean with degreaser. Degreased all down there that was covered in oil. The whole top here surface has all been cleaned, so that's all ready to be reassembled. I have the cap here just with the most tiniest little bit of RTV grease or RTV instant gas maker just on top of this. This is now curing. We have our new seal, which I'm going to take out of the bag, and like there is a lot more play in that. The other one was actually a lot more solid, so hopefully that was what's causing the leak. So now we're going to fix it. Okay, now we're about to install our seal. So which way is in and out? So that's the inside, so that points into the engine where there's like a little trough, and where it's flat is the out, so that's going to point out to us or out towards the wheel. So about to install it now, and then on to the next part. Okay, so just before we install the seal, I did actually put a little bit of oil in the inside of the seal, and I put a little bit of oil here on the top of the cam, so at least when it turns there'll be a little bit of oil just there to lubricate everything. Okay, now we have it all rebuilt and we're about to just torque it up to 20 Newton meters. Perfect. Okay, next we have to tighten up this nut just here on the cam to 80 Newton meters. Okay, now we have the time belt on. If you want to see how I did it, I actually have a video on it. Check the top link up here or the description down below. So just very quickly, we have the dot and the dot lined up. So that's the crank. We have the distributor, which we put in a dot between the 2 and the 4, and it's actually in line. And coming up here, this one here is level across there, so like literally, yeah, there you go. Difficult enough to see, but there is a dot which I've marked with Tipex, and that's level across there. So that's now, everything is in TDC. So what we're going to do is, I have these little circuit pliers. I'm going to put them into the double hole here, just turn it and tighten it up. So I'm going to tighten up the tensioner, so when I flex the belt like this, it should flex about 45 degrees. Okay, now that's tightened up. Yep, about 45 degrees of deflection just there. So yeah, that's nice and tight. So now on to the next job. Okay, now time to put on the rocker cover gasket. Because I knew I was doing this job, I bought a new rocker cover gasket. So this one is made into like a rubber plastic, same as what the TT would have. So there's a half moon and there's a C shape all built into the rocker cover gasket, so there's no actual gap in between anything. On the cork one, which I was using originally, there was this piece here, and that would sit just on top there, and I think that also helped it leak. So getting rid of that and using one continuous gasket the whole way around, not in cork, so let's hope that doesn't leak. Oh yeah, there's the part number. Okay, we have everything now back together again. We have turned over the crank twice, so let's make sure that there is no interference between the cams and the pistons, so everything is good. So now I'm about to turn on the engine and see how it goes. Hey! Perfect. Okay, so it's quite late at night and I put it all back together again, and there was a big leak at the back of the engine. So where the new rocker cover went in, it's now leaking. What I did was I took off the new rocker cover, compared it to the old rocker cover. They're the size of the holes in the old rocker cover gasket. The new rocker cover gasket is quite small, so I end up drilling out the new rocker cover gasket to the same size as the old rocker cover gasket. So basically I just drilled holes in the new rocker cover gasket to make them that much bigger, and put it all back together again. No more leaks so far, so it seems to have worked. Everything is running really sweet. Perfect. Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, that's absolutely brilliant. I'm delighted with that. So that's now everything back together again. No more leaks. I've actually taken off the timing belt cover just to check that there isn't any leaks after letting it run for about 10 minutes here. And everything is absolutely running perfectly. There's no more leaks, so I'm absolutely delighted with that. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe over there, and as always guys, thanks for watching. See you later.